Hello, and thanks for joining the Tuesday edition of Journalist Hangouts. I'm Ayodele Ozubakun. Today on the program, please cancel summon to Saraki, demand written explanation. NPDP halt dialogue talks with presidency. Please dismiss officer after shooting incident at Fayemi's rally. And later on the show, Kaduna lawmaker urges party supporters to capture Senator Shehu Sani, offers to buy his ear for 5 million naira. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju, Olayinka Oyegbile, and Wahid Bakare. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Glad to have you join us. It's said that the politics permeate our collective life as a nation, such that every issue is given political coloration. But concern must be raised when two institutions of states decide to play politics with our collective well-being. On Sunday, the nation woke up to an invitation by the police for the Senate President, Bukola Saraki, to appear at the force headquarters to answer questions over alleged criminal indictment by 5 gang leaders of a bank robbery. As the country braced up for showdown, the police negotiated a U-turn in less than 24 hours. They asked Abubakar Bukola Saraki not to appear again, but explain his connection to the suspects in writing. Now that the police backtracked after a meeting between the Inspector General of Police and the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo raised more questions than answers, let's wait for this confessional statement.
The Senate President and Governor of Kwara State, we have been their political talk, so that was what encouraged us to do what we are doing.
The rob and the kill.
How did you get your weapons, my friend? How did you get these weapons?
How did you get your weapons?
It was through this one ex-retired police officer.
Look at
It was through this one retired police officer, Michael, dismissed police officer Michael Adiku. It was the one that comes with ammunitions. We've been working for him. It's over. When we are in PDP, it has been long.
Can you at least
When he was the governor of Kwara State.
Oh yeah, Ada.
Okay, when you say you work for him, what is the nature of the work that you do for him?
We are the one that we mobilize, and we are the one that do political arrangements for him.
Describe it.
For example, where we are not supposed, where we can't win, we make the Baru arrangement there. We scatter elections if we don't win.
I'm sure of what, but gentlemen, Babajide, let's look at the back and forth of this case. Yesterday we went into, what should be done and the questions that were raised and everything. Today we've seen a police force that said, okay, you don't need to come. The Senate President, what should have been the ideal situation, the ideal way out of this situation?
Ideal.
As in, before we started in the studio, somebody said because Abubakar Bukola Saraki is the Senate President, that the police would have accosted him, gone to his office, maybe police chief, in other civilized crime, maybe a DIG operations, just go to, this is what has been said, you mean I indicted for, just a chat before going to, to the public, and we have this back and forth.
Well, as much as I want the office of the Senate President to be respected, given the respect that it deserves, I don't think that in any part of the world where someone is seen as a suspect in a matter, the police cannot invite him for questioning. They can even arrest him because he doesn't have immunity. We've seen Senate presidents in other lands, leaders of parliament in other lands are arrested and even put on trial. We've seen former prime ministers in Israel put on trial, and jailed. So, yes, it's important that they show respect to that office. And I think that's why they have chosen to say, okay, instead of telling him to calm down, he should do a written response to their own, they should do a written response to them explaining his relationship with these suspects. I really don't know what Saraki will be writing to these people. It seems that the police wants him to indict himself in writing. It seems that that is the goal, because if he says that he has worked with these guys before, and those guys are saying that they used to disrupt elections, they were his thugs.
Dabaru the election.
Yes, it is actionable. It is actionable. I'm sure the Senate President will be contacting his lawyers about the appropriate response, because he could end up
Indicting.
putting himself in trouble with the kind of response.
I think somebody said the written response is trickier.
Yes, they want him. If he says that he does not know these people, there are already pictures out there showing the guy who made that confession at an event wearing the same dress as people members of Saraki's family. The pictures are coming out, So these are people that are known to the Senate President. These are people that he will find it difficult to deny that he knows them. So the police are trying to put the Senate President in a bind. And honestly, in my view, the way out of this for both parties and even for our country is dialogue. Because I don't know how we can get out of this without our country being embarrassed. I'm seeing signs that even the international community, they're already concerned. They think, this could lead to a constitutional crisis and all that. Is the government becoming intolerant of opposition? Is it because some people plan to move out of the party that they are doing this to them? So we have to be really careful how we handle this. The Senate President has to be careful. I'm happy that they've chosen not to tell him to calm down. You will recall that I think in 2012, he was invited to come and give testimony in Panti, and he came down to Panti at that time to give testimony over a murder case. But this is different now. He's a Senate President, he's the number 3 man, so the police have to show some respect to him. And at the same time, they have to be professional. Just as I said yesterday, the police needs to come out of this with its integrity intact. The worst thing that can happen to the police is for this to look like a white goose chase or an attempt to simply rope in the Senate President. They must do their job well, and the evidence against the Senate President has to be really strong. Otherwise, the blowback will be bad for the police.
Wahid, what do you make of this situation?
I think it's a welcome development that police, like you said during the introduction, that they made a U-turn by now asking the Senate President, to do his reply, his response to the allegation in writing. I think by so doing, they have accorded that office some level of respect. It's not about Saraki, it's about the office now. I don't know how the Senate President is going to do it, but it's going to be tough, because whether we like it or not, as an indigene of that state, I know that Ilorin, and Kwara State in general, happens to be one of the most peaceful state. But all this manner of violence and what have you, killings, started around 2000 and 2003, you know, when there was a fierce battle between the then candidate, Saraki, and the late Lawal, who was governor at that time. You know, I was sad because I had cause to visit Ilorin that period. And I saw people that were going to the mosque. They were being asked to raise their hand by the police. And Hamilton was stationed at the entrance of the market. It was as bad as that. You know, for the photograph, you know, whereby they said maybe in this era of abuse of social media, we need to be very careful. You know, people can do a lot of things on the internet. You know, they can superimpose photographs, they can do all manner of things. You know, but I find it difficult to believe that the Senate president will harm some people to go and do that. It is almost impossible. But at the same time, I also find it difficult to discard entirely the investigation carried out so far by the police. Something tells me that if they don't have any direct relationship with him, maybe they have indirect relationship with the Senate president. But as time goes on, we are going to see the end of this matter.
To be proven. Yinka?
Well, I would like to take a slightly different path. For me, if you allow the cliche, what has happened is that you have put the horse before the cart. If the police already knew that...
So you put the cart.
Well. Okay, that's it. Now, what should have happened if they were to do it properly? First of all, the most senior police officer, after this thing was recorded, before you even broadcast it at all, you already have it. You confront the Senate president with it. Let's look at it another way. If these thugs were to have implicated the vice president or the president, will they play it this way? Will they not, first of all, weigh the options? I'm not a Saraki man. I don't like his politics. I don't like his everything. But what we have done is to desecrate the office of the Senate president. Forget about Saraki. That office, we must respect that office. When the Nixon, the late American president, the Watergate scandal happened, did the police ask the then president to come and meet them in their office? Did they announce it on air? We must do things properly. Perhaps now the police has realized where they are. That's why they said they should put it in writing. What they should have done in the first place, don't bring these people to the open space and record. They have the police, all the security agencies have their media outfit. They could have done the recording in their offices or wherever.
Perhaps we've forgotten that it's the Senate president that first of all raised alarm, a kind of alarm that got an intelligence report.
Yes,
and
he raised the alarm.
Might have been boxed to a corner.
He raised the alarm, but even when they now got what when they got the confirmation or whatever we want to call that, they should have first of all played it to him, go and visit him in his office, or even the Inspector General of Police can invite him to his office or wherever or what, and then, look, we must not always look at things because I don't like you, then the office you occupy, I must denigrate it. No. Okay. We must respect office. The office must be respected, even if it is the most criminal man that is occupying the place.
Let me attend to our first caller. Shegun is calling us from Lagos. Thank you for joining us, Shegun.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yes.
So, teacher Ju and the colleagues.
Thank you,
I
Shegun.
want to make my own small contribution.
Oh, please do.
As regards this issue of talks, I'm a politician.
Hello, Shegun, are you there?
I'm there. I'm here.
Okay,
with you.
please go ahead.
They have their talks. I'm very sure one of these boys, Ayuade, must have maybe be very close to the what's it called? To the Senate President. One is about Jack Bio, Nikugbi. That is just what Yoruba says. All I want the police is they should do their work perfectly well. Everybody can be arrested if we don't have the immunity. Look at South Korea. The president was arrested and disgraced. The issue of we have to respect the office of the Senate President. Look at how Sharaki said got there. When he let out some renewal, it's one of the problems. He did not start well. That this assembly, in fact, is embroiled in so many things.
Thank you, Segun.
Very careful.
Thank you, Segun. Thank you for your submission. Babajide, do you agree with Yinka? Yinka is saying that perhaps the police went too far.
I think whatever Yinka says or anybody says is bound to be influenced by the apparent bad blood between both parties. And the bad blood between both parties is what makes it difficult sometimes, even for some of us,
remove the facts
to judge this kind of matters. You know, that's bad blood. If before now, Saraki has no immunity, he can be arrested. He can be taken away for questioning. But I'm reluctant to say that is the right course of action because of what had happened in the past few weeks. Here is an IG that refused to face the Senate. Now, summoning someone. You can imagine. So they sat back and thought, people are going to use this against us. So that the IG was summoned, he didn't go. Now he's summoning the Nigerian number 3 man. So they changed their minds and said, okay, he should write, whatever he writes. I don't think that will be the end of the matter. Because that confession, if it is adjudged that that confession was not induced in any way,
Under duress.
it's going to be difficult for the Senate President to say that he did not know those guys or that he had no relationship with them. But one thing is also clear. From that boy's confession too, he said the Senate President didn't send them to go and rob him of her.
At least that is clear.
So you cannot pin armed robbery on him.
Armed robbery.
But at the same time, the issue of thuggery,
I mean, these people.
the issue of thuggery or even Governor Fatai's chief of staff accused of providing weapons and all that is there. So, head or tail, this is a very bad case. It's a bad case for the Senate President. It's bad for the police and bad for our nation because people are watching. Already now, some of the ambassadors of some Nigerian, some countries, Europe and America, they are taking interest in what is happening. And some of them are already speaking with the Senate President, asking him what's really going on, this and that. Before you know it, the international community will start turning against this government. That, this government is intolerant of opposition, this government does not believe in rule of law and all that. We are seeing that already, we are seeing signs. And that's why I'm saying the best way is to find a way, a kind of middle ground. If you want to really pin something on the Senate President, I think that they still have other cases that they can use against him. But this one, that armed robbers and offer, it's difficult. It's really difficult.
All right, still to come. NPDP hot dialogue talks with presidency. Stay with us. It's still journalist Hangout. We'll be right back after this breather. Welcome back. It's still journalist Hangout, reaching you live from Television Continental here in Lagos, Nigeria. The new PDP debacle hanging over the APC like a sword of Damocles is yet to disappear. The new PDP members within the APC have suspended talks aimed at resolving the grievances raised by the power bloc. In a statement, chairman of the group, Kawu Baraje, alleged that one of them, Senator Abubakar Bukola Saraki, is being persecuted. The group also wondered why some security aides of principal officers of the National Assembly were withdrawn without valid explanation. They have now issued another threat. They said they will no longer be available for talks with the leadership of APC unless good faith returns to the discussions. How will this affect APC's attempt to achieve reconciliation and cohesion towards 2019 general election? Wahid,
Yes.
what they've given, let's talk about that funny report about tactical withdrawal of some security aides from the Senate President and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, if that can be confirmed.
Yes, a lot of people were surprised, especially because no reason was given whatsoever for the withdrawal. I said that people just woke up to discover that more than half of the security details attached to the Senate President and those attached to the Speaker have been withdrawn. But interestingly, I think this morning they have
Restored
some. I think initially they took away 11 from the Senate President, but today they restore 5. So now I have 5. So maybe, I don't know, it's as if maybe the thinking,
intimidation?
maybe the thinking was that, that's the way I feel anyway. Maybe the thinking is that if they invite Saraki, he may not want to honor the invitation. And they have, in a way preempted that action by saying, okay, let us withdraw his security details so that it will become very easy for them to arrest him. I think that was what they were planning to do for him, which is not.
That's speculative anyway.
It's speculative. It's speculative.
If all those security people around them are subject to command and control,
Yeah.
all they need to do is tell them, "We are coming to pick your people,
Simple.
pick your boss." There's nothing they are going to do. They are not going to resist
At all.
his arrest.
So looking at the PDP now, they've said till good faith returns that they don't want to be involved in any dialogue. Is this Hario Samingo? Is this Baba?
You also recall that Oyegun also confirmed the fact that, in politics, people always look for what will favor them. That they think this is the only time they can negotiate, and get all the things that they needed, concerning the fact that they keep complaining about the fact that, they have been marginalized. But we also recall that Ganduje, in his reply, said there is nothing like marginalization because he himself, he was a member of the new PDP, and today he's a governor. He listed a lot of them like that, even Saraki, is the Senate President, Dogara is the Speaker. They were all part of the new PDP. But why are they now complaining about marginalization? But in politics, people will always act. It's about give and take. I think it will be in the best interest of the party to look at some of their grievances. The one that can be attended to, they should attend to them. Why those that cannot be attended to can be left?
Can the APC afford to allow this new PDP guys just take their lead? Because a lot of people will tell you that they're just marking time. That these people are no longer, their body, spirit, and soul, their spirit and soul might not be with the APC again.
Well, for whatever it is worth, I don't think it is the best thing for them to allow them to go. Because if you count the number of the people they brought into the alliance or whatever you want to call it.
Caliber.
Yes, and the caliber of the people they brought. You can't sweep it under the carpet. And also returning to the issue of the withdrawal of security details. I see reason with NPDP in the sense that if the Senate President is in trouble, you withdraw his security details. What about the Speaker? Is there, or is he also involved in any robbery, whatever, in Bauchi or wherever? So why did you see, the thing now is that these people, the way it is going is like our actions are faster than our thoughts. People act and then they sit down and think that, oh, what I did that time, I think it was stupid. So how do I correct it? In this business, they must be very, very tactical. And I'm surprised that a party that was very tactical out of power has gotten into power, and power drunkenness is making them to be tactless. Exactly, that's the way I see it now. Because in every action that you take, you must calculate first what will be. It is better to be slow in acting than act and discover that you are foolish. Then you want to go back. It makes you look stupid in the face of people.
Babajide, let's look at the plight of the APC people, guys now that are involved in this negotiation. And whatever we gather from grapevine, and we heard, we were told that maybe some of the demand of these new PDP guys, that if the APC guys should give in to it, it might be counterproductive to the ultimate interest of the APC.
You see, you know why these talks are going on and on? The MPDP members want firm commitment from the government that their positions will be retained. Most of them in the National Assembly, they know already that they are lining up other people to take their positions. The governors that have sympathy for MPDP, they are lining up people to take their place. They are lining up federal lawmakers to take their place. So now one of the demands that they are trying to make is, okay, you want us to stay, then give us a guarantee that we will all return to our positions.
That Bukola Saraki will be the Senate president.
Bukola Saraki will be left alone, you know, will return to the Senate and keep his position. Because one thing is certain, if you do not checkmate this element at state level, they will end up back in the National Assembly.
Yes,
and
definitely.
they will still be able to elect Bukola Saraki.
Yes.
He has their...
For as far as Kwara is concerned,
no, they won't talk. No, not Kwara alone.
Okay.
He supporters everywhere.
Across, okay.
Those, the NPDP members, a clear majority of them are in the National Assembly.
Yes.
Now, if they get the government to agree that they will keep their positions, then it means that they will be able to go back to the National Assembly. Dogara will be able to go back to the National Assembly, Saraki will be able to go back there. Their supporters in the National Assembly will be able to go back there, which will brighten the chances of Saraki retaining his position
As Senate President.
Now, what is happening is this Vice President has not been able to give that guarantee. Because in their talks with the Vice President, they've made this demand.
Clear, they want it.
That you want us to stay, then guarantee that we are going to keep our positions.
Which is quite difficult.
Nobody will want to make that kind of concession to them. Nobody. So as long as you can't, if you can't make that kind of concession to them, then they will have to think of what to do next. I've said repeatedly that what Bukola Saraki is going through is at the heart of the agitation of the NPDP group. And you've seen clearly that the moment that invitation went to Bukola Saraki, they said they were pulling out of the talks. There was a direct response to the invitation by the police. So we've said that, look, if the government today says we are dropping charges against Bukola Saraki, you see that this whole wahala will die down.
Yeah.
But there is no guarantee that these demands will be met. And if these demands will not be met, then they know that their days in the APC are numbered, and they will have to go and try their luck elsewhere. So this is what is happening.
Wahid is like a catch-22 situation for the APC. If they allow these people to go, it might be like a deja vu of what played out in 2015, allowing 5 governors to go, and that really cost Goodluck Ebele Jonathan dearly. If you allow them to stay, the terms of condition to stay, it's really at the heart of this whole thing now.
I think they have enough lesson to learn from what happened to PDP you know, in 2015, a situation whereby they allowed 5 governors. I think forever PDP will forever regret that action. You know, by allowing it was an action that was based on arrogance. You know, let them go. If they go, nothing will happen. But eventually, something big happened. You know, those people were able to, I mean, gather a lot of support together. You know, they put their heads together, and eventually, that was one of the reasons why APC was able to win at that level. And up to today, that is one of the reasons why those who are indigenous of Rivers State refuse to forgive Rotimi Amechi because of the pivotal role he played in the whole thing. You know, so there's a lesson to learn. But unfortunately, politicians, you know, they are incorrigible optimists. They may not, they won't learn anything. I'm very sure that some of them will be beating their chest that let them go. If they go, nothing will happen. We are still going to win.
The Kano State governor is the chief.
I have Peter from Taraba State.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Peter. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. My greetings to you and your panelists.
Thank you.
Okay, so my contribution about the APC crisis is because I've tried to calculate these positions the state that the APC have. Although the Senate president, you people know how he got it. It's not the wish of the APC to give it to them. And since they got it, they've been battling them and Dogara and so on. And also, seeing this as it's not foolishness to demand for this because they know that without this stance at this point, these people are ready to rubbish them comes the election. So them now stand there. It's a very good calculation that they make to look for this now because they know what is awaiting of them ahead. So they make a good calculation and with a good timing to demand for this. That's my opinion on that.
Thank you so much, Peter, for your contribution. Now, in our climb, rumors thrive during political contests and gladiators swap to make the best use of such situation. We saw an enactment of such scenario in Ekiti last Friday as the state prepares for a gritty governorship election on July the 14th. A trigger-happy mobile policeman had opened fire on the crowd who gathered for a welcome rally for the governorship candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Dr. John Kayode Fayemi. In Ado-Ekiti, the police officer shot a chieftain of the party and a former lawmaker, Michael Okoyemi Bamidele MOB, and 5 other APC faithful. Rumor mongers swung into action and insinuated assassination attempts, but the State Police Command dismissed such talks, describing the incidents as a mere accidental discharge. The officer involved has been dismissed to pave way for investigation and trial. Olayinka, what are we looking at here? I gather that that officer came from Lagos, that he was posted to a bank in Lagos to secure a bank in Lagos, and he ported to Ekiti State on a PP.
It was just unfortunate.
Oh, sure.
You have a lot of them doing that. You'll be traveling on the road, you see a truck carrying goods, and you see a mobile policeman or a military soldier wearing uniform and all that, escorting. Clearly, you know it is an illegal duty. But you see, beyond that, we also must begin to move with the times. It is perhaps only in Nigeria that there will be a public event and you will see soldiers or policemen carrying AK-47. I've been at a function somewhere in the US where a sitting president was present. You never saw a single. Yes, there were those in uniform.
But pistol, carrying pistol just inside their holster.
Why do we carry AK-47 where a governor, a president, or where public people are? Is it to frighten us that, yes, we have guns here? There are ways you do these things. If you have your rifle or pistol or whatever, no. In fact, that is even much more better than carrying AK-47. I was at a function about a month ago in Abuja where the vice president was. They were all over the place carrying guns. What for? we should modernize. We should behave. We should do things the way it is being done all over the world. We should not be living in the 18th century, in the 21st century. Why should he carry AK-47 at a political rally? For what? Who does he want to shoot?
Now Babaji, that actually happened, and the gun went berserk, and people were affected. And this man, I'm sure, is not even in the right state of mind right now. The mobile policeman,
he can't be,
because he was beaten to stupor. He was beaten.
They actually left him for dead.
No, yes, I pray for that he recovers well, and upon all, he's going to face a boardroom trial, and the penalty is dismissal.
No, they've dismissed him already.
They've dismissed him.
Is a trial in court now, that we're waiting for. You see, he was a mobile officer, a mobile police officer, Mopo 20, taken for that assignment, taken to Ekiti for that assignment by another APC member. Initially what we were told was, it must have been Fayose who arranged it. This is our nature here. We play politics with everything.
Conspiracy theory.
Yeah, so Fayose was not happy with the large crowd that welcomed Fayemi. That's why he disrupted the rally, used the policeman to disrupt the rally and all that. The police have repeatedly discountenanced that and said, this person was posted to guard the bank, but he ended up in Ekiti. And 5 others.
A Lagos bank, not even Ekiti bank.
Yes, 5 others on 5 other policemen were similarly dismissed, who were on that assignment.
What will happen? What will be the fate of
because
that politician that paid them?
What policemen do is, what politicians do is they will just pay money.
If I have money
you
now,
go to a DPO, give me so number of policemen, I'm traveling,
follow me.
this and that. And
people will regard me as a VIP when they see police around me.
So, because we think that carrying police all over the place is a status symbol. That's how we see things. So, and I think that at the end of the day, the policeman or the other policemen will learn a lesson from this, because he could easily have paid with his life.
Honestly.
Yes.
The way he was being beaten, he was bloodied all over. Because, and
fact,
they left him because they thought he was dead.
When I first saw his picture, I thought maybe he shot himself or he was also affected. I never knew.
Beaten beyond recognition.
Yeah.
We can only continue to pray for
Michael
Okwemibamdele, who was
MOB.
Who was caught in the unfortunate incident. We pray that to continue to recover. And it is our wish that the election in Ekiti would not go the way of previous elections that were characterized by violence. Let the people of Ekiti choose the leader that they want. The election should not be rigged by anybody. It should the wish of the people should prevail. Violence should not characterize that election. I've had the police commissioner warning politicians that violence will not be tolerated. I think at this point in our history, politicians on their own should not even wait until the police begin to issue threats before they know that elections are not supposed to be life and death affair. So those of them still carrying talks all over the place, I hope they will even learn a lesson from what's happening to Bukola Saraki, because you never can tell when it will work against you.
Years after Wahid, this policeman now, it's like an example. And we have them all over the country. You hijack policemen, give them peanuts, take them out of their duty posts, and this is dismissed for it. He's in a terrible state, and he's going to face the court of law.
Yes, he's one out of many out there, and I believe and I hope that this will serve as a deterrent to others. I was at a social function about 2 years ago, and a policeman in the midst of the people was just shooting sporadically in the air. It was a musician. I don't want to mention the musician's name. that was now using his song to calm him down, calling his name repeatedly. That's why are you shooting? Why are you shooting? Afaro, you know, things like that. Yes, at another time, you know, a hotelier was doing the anniversary of his hotel, and he invited me. So he invited some musician. One of them was Bado, Olamide. He was not the one who brought the policeman. Immediately he started singing Bajino to come, Fan Meji or something like that. You know, they started shooting. And you could see the number of people that were there. And I was not imagining, could it be that they don't give account of the number of bullets that they get? Because if you give account of the number of bullets that they are...
Let me take Kazim. Kazim is calling us from Lagos. Thank you for joining us, Kazim.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Yes, Kazim.
Yeah, Mr. Babajide.
Good afternoon.
Well done, sir.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, Kazim, please go ahead.
I wish to commend everybody, the panelists.
Thank you, Kazim. Please go ahead.
And I wish to contribute to the issue of the Senate President.
Please do that quickly, Kazim.
This one is like a big problem. We are sitting on the keg of gunpowder in this country. Because looking at the case in question, we have so many things involved and so many people are taking side, not looking at what will come out of this. Already before now, the Senate President has been attached to the issue of Togri one way or the other. And the man coming out saying it on the national to everybody that he is a party to so many things that happened in Kwara State is an indictment on the person of Mr.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, the political situation in Kaduna State is getting frenzied. The personality clash between the state governor, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, and the senator representing Kaduna Central, Shehu Sani, is throwing the state's chapter of APC into more turmoil. More combatants are joining the fray. As the relationship between the two leaders worsened, on Monday, the chief whip of the State House of Assembly, Yusuf Zelani, came hard on the senator. He wondered why he can't see the difference that APC has made in the states. He requested party supporters to capture him and said he wants to buy his hair for 5 million naira. I want us to listen to this audio clip.
Malam gaskiya ne, mutane in suka ce ba gaskiya ba ne, ya kamata a kai su asibitin mahaukata a duba su. Mun ga a ƙaramin lokaci shekara 2 yanzu a na 3 abin tarihin da ba taɓa yi ba. APC a rigasa shekara 16 da PDP ta yi, ta gina azuzuwa guda 23 a cikin shekara 16. A cikin shekara 2 da wata 7 muka tabbatar da gina azuzuwa guda 110 a cikin shekara 2 da wata 6. To ku ce wai har wani ya ce an tsine mu wayannan mutanen ba daidai ba, wanda ya ce an tsine musu ba daidai ba ya kamata a kai shi asibiti a duba shi don yana da tabin hankali. Kuma ina ƙara ba ku shawara, in kun kama Shehu Sani, gashin nake so in siya, da Allah mun sai gashin miliyan 5. Gashin naira miliyan 5 muka siya, ni isu na siya.
Classic definition of hate speech that the chief whip of the Kaduna State House of Assembly, his name is Yusuf Zelani. Babajide, because I don't understand that outside.
Was it on the floor of the house?
No, I think it was a rally.
At a rally,
At a rally from the ambience noise, from a rally instructing, and you know the way these things are, the ripple effects, what it can cause.
This is a
direct threat
Rwanda,
to the life of Senator Shehu Sani. Jide.
Yusuf Zailani, me za ka yi da gashin Shehu Sani? Chinye Zakai, what are you going to do with someone's hair? Is it food? Kana so akashi shine.
Shine, that's what he's saying.
Bilaile zilaila ilawa kaile fi Yusuf Zailani. Makaba kaile fi. You've done what is wrong. That's why there is violence in our land.
Placing a bounty.
What do you want to do with someone's hair?
5 million naira.
Don't you have your own hair? Can't you grow? If you feel jealous by the bushy nature of Sheikh Sani's hair, can't you allow your own hair to grow? Or is it bald head that you have? Haba. I think it has reached a point that the police should go after politicians like this who are involved in hate speech.
What's the essence of...
Because what are you going to do with someone's hair? Now, if those boys who were hailing Zailani, you know, if those boys responded to his demand and then decided to capture the senator,
clearly his life is...
His life will be in danger.
Is in danger.
This is the same way Rwanda started.
Before you can shave my hair?
This is the same way Rwanda started. In fact, the police need little or no more evidence. The first evidence they need is to ascertain that this is his voice. And I guess we have all those amenities now. Immediately it is ascertained, the next thing is to arrest him. Because if you don't arrest him, this thing is going to snowball into something bigger.
The principal officer...
if anything happens to Shehu Sani now, then...
the chief whip of a House of Assembly?
No, it shows the quality of people that get into these assemblies.
That's a reckless statement, you know, and it can only come out from the mouth of somebody who is as reckless as his statements, you know, because like Yinka said, that was how Rwanda started. Hate speech, you know, somebody who, because he's a journalist, he has a lot of influence, he has a lot of followers, went on here and was saying a particular ethnic group, they are cockroaches, we should go after them. You know, 5 million naira is a lot of money.
It's big money.
It can be tempting.
No, to anybody.
It can be
to
tempting.
anybody. It doesn't matter whether you... 5 million.
He has suffered 5 million, let's go for him. You know, in a place where there is lack of security, you know, they can easily, if I were to be Shehu Sani, I won't take it lightly.
No.
By now, he ought to have reported to the police, and I expect that the police will pick him up, let him come and explain. And he should also put it in writing that if anything whatsoever happened to the senator, he should be held responsible. This is a reckless statement. We don't need this kind of statement in this country. We already have enough problem at hand. Insecurity is there.
Already too much insecurity in Kaduna.
Yes.
Someone told me, I lived in Tudunumpa before. You know, I lived in Kagoro Close, in Tudunwada, in Kaduna town. I've been told that people now, young men now go into people's homes with dagger, stab people and take their phones. So there is already serious problem of insecurity. People are being killed in Breningwari as if they don't matter.
Cockroaches.
And then we have a politician who mount the
rostrum
and be telling the youth to go and catch someone that he wants to buy his hair for 5 million.
Principal officer of the State House of Assembly.
And in a language every one of them understood.
Yes.
He didn't speak in English.
He didn't speak in English.
He spoke in Hausa. So
he democratized his call for violence. Honestly, Zailani has shown that it's a disgrace to even the APC.
To speak in this manner. He doesn't have immunity. So this is a job for the Inspector General of Police.
Yes.
It's a ready job.
I don't know. Principal officer, we are moving towards that era that you see a lot of this kind of unprovoked statements. And by the time you start saying it and these people start taking action, gentlemen, it's not good for our policy at all.
Kaumaka Gashin Shehu
Interpret yourself.
No, he's already.
Okay.
It's already like a Roman mob because those people, you can't control them.
Of course, now.
No, before you can even bring someone's head, it's like you may have to kill the person.
Of course,
to bring his head.
You are asking for
So it's like
to shave my hair
a call to violence.
and keeping 5 million naira and in this poverty ravaged environment.
Let's go for the 5 million naira. They will go after the
It's
senator.
not. We shouldn't be electing people
Shouldn't
like
at
this.
all.
Because
At
it's
all.
not-
These people,
it's not
these
worthy of
kind
being
of
a leader.
people are not supposed to be anywhere near
Near elective office.
at all.
Don't be surprised that he may become governor at another time.
No, God forbid, this kind of
he
person,
can't
God
become
forbid, God forbid, with this kind of antecedent, there's internet there. I think the police, they have to be proactive. We should cross the border of looking for the body language or the party in power and everything.
I don't even know. Shehu Sani and Co. opposed the governor's desire to take a loan.
Yes.
You know?
Does that call for...
Does that, so should he now pay with his life because of that? You know?
Anyway, since the governor himself has said the 3 senators are useless,
and he
what
even
do you
swore
expect?
against them. Now Zelani is even saying that anyone who says it was wrong to swear against them should be taken to Gidama Okata. That is where the
psychiatric hospital.
We recommend Yaba left for him too.
No, he is supposed to be the chief occupant of that Yaba left.
Kaya Kamata.
Against you,
Very reckless.
Zamu Keka Gidama Okata. Kaya Zelani Yusuf. Tunde Bakasen abinde Keke Iba.
Gentlemen, I want to thank you. Thank you. I know you guys also partly northerner too. You guys just thrown me and Wahid off balance here. Wahid Bakari, thank you so much. And thank you to the maestros of Babajide Kolade Otitoju. Yeah, and that's it on Journalist Hangout today. Join us tomorrow for another interesting episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11. You can also watch Journalist Hangout on all our major platforms showing on the screen. And you can catch us live on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. Our feedback channel is Journalist Hangout at tvcnews.tv. I'm Ayodele Uzugbakun. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.